Welcome back, everyone. You know, there are many reminders, especially in the news these days, of the difficulty and the stress in the world, unrest in London, the tragedies in Norway, to our own countries, financial, and a lot of other issues. We're back talking with our life coach today, Pat Barone of Catalyst Coaching, about ways to lighten your load or your mood so that you can better deal with stress besides completely tuning out of it.
Right.
Out of, you know, news of the world. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Do you find that a lot of people that you talk to, I mean, this is a pretty common issue?
It's that fight or flight syndrome that starts to happen, and you know what you want to do when you're doing that, you're in a reactionary mode, and what you want to do is respond to what's happening in the world so that you can, you know, make the changes that you need to make to take care of yourself.
I was going to say, I'm surprised at how often I have a lot of friends who never watch the news, and they apologize to me for that, but that's one of the reasons that they say that it's just too tough for them. There's too much negative news going on. Okay, so you have 5 reminders or 5 ways that you would suggest people meet these sort of challenges to deal with the stress. And you say first is demonstrate gratitude. What would you mean by that?
You know, I was reminded of this because a yoga teacher told me that we used to wake up every day and be grateful that the sun was moving across the sky. We were so grateful for this source of energy in our lives. And that's what yoga is about. You start off with sun salutations. But yet when you go into a yoga class today, very rarely do they talk about the sun. So we've kind of lost that gratitude for the basics that are there in our lives, you know,
Food
and
on
our
the
own
table,
lives.
shelter over our head.
Absolutely.
Those
Community.
Sort of
those are great things to be grateful for.
Remember to breathe. I think that's a big one.
That's a big one. My clients call me for coaching sessions all the time, and they are hardly breathing. They can hardly catch their breath. So breathing, you have no idea how it can calm you down if you actually learn to breathe deeply. And it puts more oxygen in your blood and in your brain. You think more clearly. It's very important.
Find the lesson. Explain that.
You know, times like right now are difficult for a lot of people. And if you're in struggle, you lose that connection to what you might be learning in a situation because you just start reacting. You're not, again, responding. But there's a lesson in everything. There's learning in every single thing that's going on right now, and every single struggle has great, great lessons if you're looking for them.
Absolutely. And a good follow-up to that is make conscious choices.
Right. And again, instead of being reactionary, think through those thoughts. Really be conscious about every decision you make because they are important.
And focus on creativity?
I think this is another thing that we tend to forget. We are all creative and we're very resourceful. And we lose touch of that when we're under stress. And so think outside the box, be creative, get in touch with your creativity. There's ways to solve every single problem if we get really creative about it.
You know, a good way to maybe get back to that if you feel like you've lost some of your creativity, and I just got back from vacation, so I had a lot of time actually with my daughter, but just playing.
Oh, yes.
And just going back and drawing, or I think, is that a helpful way? I don't know how you get that back after maybe you feel like you've lost it or you're too bogged down with your day to be creative.
Absolutely. And you know, children are great because they are creative and they're still in touch with their creativity. Even if you just go out and hang out with kids, you're going to get some new ideas. But yeah, I sometimes have my clients even draw and mind map, you know, the struggles that they're going on with, because you'll start to think a little bit differently. You'll start to think in a holistic sense or in a pictorial sense, and it spurs ideas.
Puts things in perspective. All right, Pat Barone, always great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.